Just give me one big thing. Actually, don't give me one big thing because Scott Van Pelt will yell at me again. Give me one larger than average thing that you took away from the opening.
So my biggest takeaway, and I know you're going to hit on a certain wide receiver, and I thought the wide receiver group and tight end group was super impressive, but I want to talk about something that wasn't so impressive to me, and that was the quarterback play. I really thought going to an event like this that I was going to see somebody that I was like, holy cow, that kid is going to like lead a team to a college football national championship. Yeah. He's going to go early in the first round, if not first overall, and like he is the future. And I just didn't see that. CJ Stroud was probably the most impressive, and he was good, but there were times when he literally didn't start for his 7-on-7 team because he was struggling, and they put other guys in. I know Haynes King was super impressive in like the Jamboree stuff, but then when they got into the actual games, he wasn't as impressive. So I guess the biggest takeaway for me is that no quarterback really like stood out and asserted themselves as like the next big thing. It was just a bunch of above average guys that are probably going to be good on the next level, and this could have come back and bite me really bad if none of them go on and have that great success in college, or if they do have that great success in college and go on to the NFL. But it just felt like the best quarterbacks in the country either weren't there or they didn't have a great week.
No, I totally agree with that. It's funny because we were talking to Kevin Sander, our partnership success manager for FloFootball, prior to the show, and he was running through Jimmy Clausen's recruiting class and just naming off dude after dude. Cam was like down there a little bit. Yep. I don't know where he actually was, but he read his name like 4th or 5th off the list. And last year at the opening, it was Spencer Rattler and Bo Nix who really like rose to the top. This year I felt the same way. I know everybody kind of ran together. I tried to talk quarterbacks, but nobody stood out. The guys that I expected to stand out didn't. DJU, whose last name I'm not there yet, but
Clemson commit.
Yeah, he was not there, and I'm sure if he had been, that he might have been the guy that stood out. But it does feel like a very meh quarterback class to me. So couldn't agree more.
So like looking at like the rankings, Harrison Bailey is the second ranked pro style quarterback. He didn't start for a 7-on-7 team.
Where was he?
He was there. He just didn't start. And then Jack Miller and Drew Pine were there, barely saw any playing time. And then Bryce Young and Hudson Card were very just run-of-the-mill to me.
Card holds the ball for a long time.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. He took the most sacks of anybody. And you would think after the first or second time that internal clock would be going off, you just throw it.
Yeah.
Because just throwing it is better than taking the sack. And he did not, time after time again. And Bryce Young didn't see the field over C.J. Stroud.
Which was surprising. At one point, I thought that it was Bryce Young because we were up in the rafters. And it turns out it was C.J. Okay, well, for me, it was a positive. And that positive was Demond Demas, whose last name I literally learned how to say while we were there.
Same.
But currently listed as the number 2 wide receiver in the 20 class. But I'll be honest, if I'm drafting a team of prospects, give me Demas over Julian Fleming.
Okay.
And that's no knock on Julian Fleming because he's awesome.
Yes.
He was every bit as good as I thought he would be. And there's, I think, a lot of separation between the two of them and the rest of the wideouts, the rest of the wideouts in that class. But Demas was, first of all, he's 6'3", looks like he's got about a 7'3" wingspan. The best athlete I've ever seen at an event like that. My girl Leanza and Flo Cheer would freak out about his tumbling routine.
Oh my gosh.
It was like, actually, if you want to see it, just go to the opening's Twitter account because it's the only thing they tweeted throughout the entire event was Demas doing backflips. Pretty awesome. Maybe not worth 4 tweets. And then he hijacked the long ball competition and threw 162 yards for good measure.
He would have been like 4th in the quarterback competition out of 20 quarterbacks.
Yeah. So having said all of that, if he's a 5-star prospect, he's an 8-star personality. The guy is just like lightning rod, loves the spotlight. The only energy that existed at the opening was a result of him. So I don't know. I think right now where we're sitting, like the moment that he arrives in College Station at Texas A&M, college football is going to know who he is.
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to feel Demond Demas from day one.
He has that vibrant personality that all the other players in the camp were they were drawn to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like the ringleader of everything when they were doing like the backflip stuff, and then his team. I mean, I think they showed they were clearly the best 7-on-7 team. They were down 18-0.
Yeah.
And then he kind of sparked it. They scored with a few minutes left before halftime, and he went over and, like, because the other team was giving him crap, and started giving it to him back and did, like, the Terrell Owens at the Star.
Yeah, it was awesome, man.
So it kind of got that buzz and energy going with his team, and you can absolutely see that being a catalyst for Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M.
Yeah. Now, I don't know who put those teams together, but to put him and Julian Fleming on the same team, and Mike Mayer, and E.J. Smith.
G. Scott.
And G. Scott.
That team was insane.
Come on.